Good morning, highly intelligent beings. I guess this is the look of the camera when it's low light. I always have my lights and stuff covered. Okay. Good morning, highly intelligent beings and aspects of nature. It's really great to be here with you. I like to share some insight about connecting with Source. This morning, like I do every morning, the first thing I feel is this pulsating in my back, and sometimes it's like really tight, and sometimes it's like on the scale from 1 to 10. This morning it was like a 3.5, you know, which is good for me. As I go deeper inside of the sensations of my body and energy, I find really deep waters of unspoken or voiceless energies that are hard for my conscious mind to decode and put into words that will help me dissolve the energies. Which is fine. I'm here for that. I'm down, because when I learn, I give back. We're here to descend and then come to a point of neutrality so that we can make choices that are healthy for us as we are constantly in motion. You know, the key is to not be stuck and to be able to use your intelligence wisely that's been gifted to you. And I realized that my inner child isn't connected to Source because of lack of prayer and ritual as a child. Not the right type of ritual for me. Everything we do, we're in prayer, we're in ritual, but it has to be the right type of prayer for your cells, for your DNA, in order for it not to make you crystallize and embalmed inside. You want fluidity or just to feel like fundamental clarity, which is what we would call happy. Happiness is just feeling normal, you know. One time I took a half an ecstasy pill. It was legit a half an ecstasy pill, guys, because one of my ex-boyfriends was an experimenter with drugs, and I was scared. And so he would always be like, come on, man. Come on, man. It's like that joke, I don't know who said it, that your friends, if milk was illegal, they would be like, come on, man, drink this milk, man. It's like, and so we were on a vacation for our anniversary, and he brought drugs. And we took a half an ecstasy pill, and man, I was like, oh, this is how I feel when I'm just like having a good day. It wasn't anything to me, but the come down was amazing. I mean, it lasted 3 days, and I was depressed and suicidal, and I was like, I never again. Interesting. Not so interesting. It was awful. Ugh. But inner child, Source, connecting to Source. I don't know about you. Although your inner child is naturally connected to Source, I'm seeing that the habits and rituals that we put ourselves in, no matter what age, is really important to our psychology and the continued images and continued energy constructs that get manifested in our lives. So, and also I wanted to give you guys a tip before we get into the inner child prayer this morning, because I wanted to give you guys an example. I want to give you guys this energy tip, this sensation tip. I noticed that blocked energy is you putting your head down inside. Like your head is down and your eyes are closed and you don't want to see. Blocked energy is not looking out and forward and facing the energy out of fear, out of hopelessness, loss, grief, shame, whatever the reason, you're not looking up and out. And when I have been doing this, and I do this inside my energy, I look up and I just face the energy head on, whatever it is, whether that be an inner situation that never got resolved with my mother, who is a carrier of the narcissistic archetype. She scared me a lot growing up. She scared me a whole lot. And for me, nightmares, like nightmarish, scary movies are inside of me. I was very like an absorber of energy, all energies around me, and some of them stuck with me for better or for worse. And going to church and not understanding what they mean by Satan, what they mean by demons, what they mean by casting out demons, and why is everybody spitting up and throwing up on the floor after he says, I'm gonna cast this demon out of you. And just being traumatized in ways, I was like scared away a lot of times from connecting to source, because I didn't know what source was. They made me afraid to go inside myself. And a lot of times when the parts of me that were naturally connected to source made people around me jealous or afraid. So that kind of taught me to stay away from source, the source of my joy and contentment, And so let's do an example of how to connect your inner child back to source. And what it's going to be is a prayer. It's like your inner child needs to pray. And all it is you being vulnerable about your feelings. That's what it means to be vulnerable about your feelings. It's staying connected to your inner child, connecting your inner child to source. You can always be vulnerable with source. So this morning I was walking and I was feeling the sensations that are voiceless, but they're not really voiceless to source. They make very clear connection to source. It's me, my conscious mind, that wants to turn everything into a result of materialism, because in constant ritual with going to school and learning about how to be a worker and make money and what life is supposed to look like in order to fit into society is a ritual as well. And it's not a healthy one for me. So let's get into like a healthy ritual for your inner child and connecting your inner child to source. I'm scared. I am scared, source. I am scared of my mother. I am afraid to talk to her. I am afraid to speak. I haven't used my voice in so long out of fear that I'll be hit. I'm afraid that I'm going to be hit, abused, silenced, knocked down. And I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to talk to you. I don't know if you can hear me or if you actually can help me, source. but I'm crying out to you to help me. I'm here and I need help. I feel alone. I feel like I have to face her by myself. I feel like I have to face these big giant mountains alone. And I don't know what to do. I am not satisfied with the choices of energies I have around me. And all I know is that I'm stuck. And Source, if there is another way, if there is a way where I can speak, be in an environment where I can speak and be connected to you, and that I can be in ritual with you instead of being terrorized, please show me the way. Thank you so much. I don't know why in my head I'm like, thank you for the floppy bunny ears. I'm like, I don't even have a floppy bunny ear stuffed animal. But I do have Monkey. I've had Monkey since I was like 6 years old. He needs to be patched up. He's been through everything with me. He was in St. Thomas with me. He was in Puerto Rico with me during the hurricanes. He's seen it all. When I was praying this morning with my inner child energy, and inner child energy is oftentimes what we would consider negative, because if you didn't get a chance to have a healthy relationship with Source and with your outside world connected, where you expressed your feelings, then your stuck energy, my energy is riveting right now from praying that prayer. My energy is like riveting. It's making me itch. It's moving. It's exactly what I need. And I hope that a lot of you can relate, so that you can get your energy back pumping again and feeling alive and feeling like, now I feel like I'm going to cry. Okay, there it is. I was really, really scared. I still feel afraid. I feel afraid. Okay. I was going to say, when I was walking with Titan this morning, and I was doing my inner child connection with Source prayers, it was a lot of tears. And so and I like to share the rawness with you guys, because you'll be able to connect with that, and then you'll be able to do it for yourself. You know, it's not, I don't feel like it's enough for me to write an article or to just talk about it like as if I'm removed from the process, and because I'm not. It's inside what's happening is that it's a lot of like asking source why, like why weren't you there for me, why didn't you help me, or I don't really remember exactly what my inner child is saying. But it was really hard to speak with it. Okay. I feel like this process for me as I go through my stages of development in front of you guys, I my ego constructs my higher self descending to save my lower self is intense for me and confusing a lot of times. I don't understand. I am very highly spiritual and like very here on earth as well. Like I have been initiated into society, like wanting money and wanting success and wanting social status like everybody else, and understanding what true life, what real reality actually is about, more than just in my crown and third eye, because I have that down. That just comes so natural to me. But like in my lower self, it was a different life. It's like I've been trying to connect the chasm between my higher and lower self, and because my lower self is like I want money, I get money, like, and my higher self is like, that's not what life is about. Don't get attached to money. Like, don't get attached to anything at all. Don't brag about anything. You're not doing this. You're not. This is not about you. You are to share whatever it is you have. You are to share what you learn. You are still just dust. I don't know. That's how it makes my ego feel. Like, and I was also walking this morning, I was crying, just realizing that it's my attachment to nature. My relationship with nature is what brings me fire inside. It's what lights me up. And that's like it's like a killer for my pride for some reason. And there's parts of me that want to take credit. Oh, dealing with myself, man. I also wanted to talk to you guys about your altars and connecting with spirit and what connecting with source. You want to connect with source through everything. You know, it's about source. It's about your connection with source. I build a altar to my my archetype that runs through me. I spend a lot of time researching my name, the origins of it, not by myself, but through a person that is a yogi and has spent a lot of time. They do a lot of hard work, and not just in study, but in the astral world and stuff. I cannot take all the credit, and I will not. But I met him, and it was divine timing. Maybe like before I went to St. Thomas, and I built such a relationship with myself, my avatar, that now anytime I go to that altar, it just really ignites my energy. And so I want to tell you guys that whatever it is that you build your altar to do a lot of research on it. It will be great if you can find your archetype and your avatar to have it adds meaning to your life. Meaning is really important to connecting with source. Having meaning, like when I pick roses, when I have roses, I know what I'm looking at. I know the properties of it. I have a deep love because of basically who they are. Everything around us has a being, and when you see and you have intimacy, it responds back to you at a higher and higher level. The more you connect when you connect your being with its being, and we all know that from relationships. Like we really respond to people the best when we feel like they're being real, and they care, and not just like in a generic way, but in like they see you, they want to know you, and they have a love for you, like a fundamental caring, like unconditional, fundamental, positive regard. That's a lot of like jibber jabber, healing jibber jabber, psychology jibber jabber, I guess. And yeah, I just want to encourage you guys to connect. Life isn't just about the material, like all about money and stuff. And it's good to be at a neutral point of interaction with life. That's why I go inside of my energy, and that's why we do the inner child connection with source, not to torture ourselves and not to be in the constant I'm healing, identification, but to be able to get in there and neutralize all of your energy. Once you can bring it it comes up, you sit with an awareness of it. Some of my energy it's easy to dissolve. Like, as soon as it comes up, I can dissolve it. And sometimes I see like white specks of light and stuff. I can see my aura being like cleaned, and sometimes it's little small specks. Sometimes it's like speck, like pow, you know. And then other energies are more deeply entrenched and need something else. You have to find out what that is, okay? And I hope I help you guys in some way this morning figure out what you can do to bring yourself, to make your energy even more neutral. And after all that crying and praying and stuff, I'm not really linear. I just don't really feel linear right now. So I'm going to get offline, and I might lay down, or I might belly dance or read. I can't really say. But I will talk to you guys as soon as I have more insight. Peace.